Team of Fluent Artists, we are live. Come on in. Type your name and where you're from in the chat. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can get right into it. All right, my name is Shares, and I know you're here because you want to learn how to sell your art online. All right. And so if you want to sell a $2,000 piece like Tierra did with this Galactic Jellies, Jasmine said the prints are the gifts that keep on giving. Right here, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about how Jasmine made over $15,000 in 20 days. Type yes in the chat. That's a result you like to get. Here, Jasmine, she set a goal to make $5,000 in sales for the month, but she ended up making $5,527 in the first week. Miss Joe got some cash on the table. More money from Jasmine. Tierra, she taught her kids how to make money selling art. They made over $500 while they was 2, 5, and 7 years old. Cash from King, another $2,000 piece by Jonte, $350 piece right there by Jasmine. All right. Here's another 2K piece by Joe Woods. All right. So if you want to sell art online, man, you are in the right place because we're going to show you exactly how these artists are doing this. Another $1,026 piece right there by Tasha. All right. And so quick pop quiz, just put true, false in the chat. All right. Do you think you need a lot of followers to sell art online? All right. Put true or false in the chat. All right. Now, fortunately, that answer is false. All right. Being new to selling art online, it actually gives you an advantage because you don't have a lot of bad habits to unlearn. Okay. And then also true or false in the chat. Do you think you need a body of work created before you sell art? All right. Type true or false in the chat. All right. This is also false because I'm going to show you how you can pre-sell your art before it's done live on this masterclass today. Okay. And then true or false, do you need gallery exposure to sell art to high income collectors online? I see some falses coming through from Tyrese. You are absolutely right. All right. You do not need gallery exposure either. You can go direct to the collector yourself using the methods that we're going to teach you live on today's workshop. All right. All right. Good, man. And then also last one, true or false. Can you sell art for high prices if you are an emerging artist? All right. Type true or false in the chat. Okay. All right, awesome artist. So if you're sick of being a starving artist and you're ready to emerge as an affluent artist, type yes in the chat for me. I want to see the yeses coming through because if you haven't succeeded in the past, listen, it is not your fault. The art industry, they don't teach us how to sell art on purpose because they want to control who makes it in the industry. Now, I already knew the art market only wanted a chosen few to win, but I had the difficult experience firsthand when I did my first art event. And so it's really us versus them artists. All right, us who are the affluent artists that keep most of their sales and we build direct relationships with collectors versus the art market that tries to control the gallery and collector access. All right. And so I know it can be scary trying to figure out how to make it as an artist, but I'm here to offer support and show you a new way to succeed. And so I want to share affluent artist Jasmine Tompkins' story because like many of you, she became an affluent artist and she started with just very little confidence and she was giving her art away for free. In only 12 months, she went from selling her art for $200 to making $15,800 in only 20 days. All right. And she never thought this was possible for her. Type yes in the chat if you like to sell over $15,000 worth of art in just 20 days. All right. And so, regardless of any family, friends, or anyone else in your life that try to tell you that you can't be successful as a full-time artist, I'm here to give you hope because you can make a living and become a well-known artist. All right. And here's Jason. He recently just joined. And when he joined, he told me him and his wife were struggling financially, right? But he joined, and within the first month, man, he sold a little bit over $1,300, collected $750 of that. And then at the top of the year, he had already sold his first $1,000 piece. All right, type yes in the chat if you want to start selling your art for over $1,000 like Jason. And so my goal here is to help you become an affluent artist. And so this presentation is designed to help two types of artists. If you are an emerging artist, I'm going to help you get more confidence to sell your art and raise your price. If you are an established artist, I'm going to help you get more exposed to high-income collectors globally. All right. And for both groups, we want to help you accomplish your dreams, your sales goals, and become well-known so you can increase your status and finally leave your 9-to-5 to become a full-time affluent artist. All right. And so the only way for you to make this transformation so you can consistently sell art online is by being an affluent artist. And the only way to be an affluent artist is with artwork. And so if I help you become an affluent artist so you can make more money selling your art online, will you promise to spend a little bit of that with me and my company in the future? Just type yes in the chat. All right, just type yes in the chat. And so listen, my name is Sharess, and like many of you, I've been an artist my entire life. You see the picture in the top left, that's a photo of young Sharess. Man, I used to love drawing the cartoon characters and the characters on the cereal boxes. That's a portrait I drew of my son and I for his first birthday. And I'm also a hooper, man. I love playing basketball. I played Division I college basketball. But when I was in college and during this time, I didn't really have any collectors or any sales skills, okay? And so I was really struggling to sell art. And then the day after Christmas one year, my house burned down. I lost all of my art, and my family, we lost everything. And so I really was like depressed, and I ended up dropping out in 2007. And as you can imagine, man, losing everything, struggling to sell art, my confidence was low. It was hard to sell and really break into the industry. And so I became obsessed with mastering business online because I really wanted to figure this out. And so I knew that I needed a mentor. And so I ended up getting a mentor. I wrote a letter to 19 millionaires. And Mike here, Mike Canings, he's one of the first people that responded. And I worked on Mike's team, and I helped him do a product launch that made $1.8 million in just 7 days, okay? And everything that I learned from that, I ended up writing a book titled How to Create Lifetime Customers. I became a #1 international best-selling author, and I've spoken around the world teaching people how to get customers for their products and services online, all right? And I've also helped celebrities like Cynthia Bailey launch her products online as well. And I've helped a lot of creators make money too. But even with this success, I still had dreams of being a full-time artist. And then I had an epiphany. I said, you know what? A starving artist or an artist that just isn't getting the sales that they want, that only means that you do not have a consistent flow of collector leads and sales. I was like, what would happen if I applied those #1 best-selling internet marketing and sales principles to fine art? So I had a crazy plan. I said, I'm going to host my first art event, and I'm going to set a goal to sell out the show, all right? And so we did just that. So you see me here with one of the collectors at the event. And we had a lot of incredible collectors there, a bunch of beautiful people in the room. We were selling art, man, sipping wine. They were enjoying the hors d'oeuvres. And this is how we actually sold a piece for $2,000 at that very first event. All right, type yes in the chat if you want to sell your first and next piece for $2,000 or more at your next art show, or do this online. I just type yes in the chat. And so this is affluent artist Melissa Mitchell. She was there, and she said, flashback to this dope art investors event by Sharess. All of these pieces sold and have already doubled in value, all right? But while we were at this event, having a great time and selling art, I realized that we had some very real problems. First, doing it the old way, it cost me over $5,000 up front just to do the art event. And it left all of our sales organized because artists were using Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, Square, really anything they could do anything they could use to get cash and get payments. And so this left everything very difficult to track. Plus, we could not easily follow up with the collectors that had just spent thousands of dollars with us. And so this is what inspired the affluent artist movement. And so I couldn't find a solution. So I had to create a new way for you to have 100% unlimited access to your collector's information and a tool that makes everything easy to sell your art online and offline. And so as an affluent artist, you really need one system that accepts payments up to $1 million. You should be able to easily sell your art anywhere, whether that's in person or online. Ideally, you can track your artwork, sales, and collectors information in one place. Collectors can also buy your art with one click, like on Amazon. And you want collectors to track their net worth in your art so they can see the value of your art going up. And we want interested collectors to come to us, right? Because we want them excited to buy our art. And so this was very hard and expensive to create, though. And I ended up wasting over $30,000 and a year of my life hiring 2 dev teams to create artwork. I invested every penny to my name, so I really thought about giving up. But I knew going back to the old way wouldn't work for me because I just did that. So I was like, you know what? Let me dig a little deeper. I found a 3rd dev team, and I tried one more time. The new artwork app and the automated collector system I created started working so well, many artists were selling art within the first 7 days, all right? And so here's affluent artist Kira. She actually holds the record because she sold her first piece in only 19 hours when she was 18 after she had just graduated from high school, all right? We're going to show you how she did that here in this presentation. Here's affluent artist Z. he was sharing with us that he had a record-breaking sales success in the past week, okay? And so he had collected over $1,800 selling 7 prints and 8 commissions, with thousands more to come when the payment plans were due. And here is a flooring artist, Jennifer Turner, man, one of my favorite stories. She's a single mother to 4 kids, and she sold a piece in a little over 24 hours. She said, it's amazing how much money I left on the table by not following up. And so she was on this web class that you're on right now. She kept compounding her success. Next thing she know, she was invited to Art Basel, and she sold a piece for $5,840 to this couple in Art Basel. Type yes in the chat if you like to sell a piece for over $5,000 at Art Basel, all right? And then because Jen continued to stay committed to her craft, she actually got invited to London at Sotheby's to attend the Art Business Institute of Art, all right? And so she went from this class that you're on right now all the way to Sotheby's and learning directly from one of the biggest auction houses in the world. Type yes in the chat if you like to learn how to sell art directly from Sotheby's and Christie's, just like Jen, all right? It's the power of taking action and believing in your art, because she started where you are right now, and she has just created some incredible success for herself. And so after creating artwork and helping all kinds of artists transform into a fluent artist, I realized that we no longer had to wait for galleries to accept us. We didn't have to wait on word of mouth to sell art or already have a big following on social media. That old way of being a starving artist was dead, okay? And so this is what I need from you. It's belief. Now, I'm going to give you the solutions to become a full-time fluent artist, but you have to believe you can do it and put that into action, all right? Because nothing hurts me more than giving you the game, then seeing you weeks, months, or years later clinging to the same starving artist problem. I see the yeses coming through. And so if you're ready to start exceeding your sales goals, type yes in the chat, all right? Like Brisha Jones here. So she set a goal. She said, for the first quarter this year, I set a goal to make $12,000. As of today, I'm super happy that I have hit $13,000 instead. Keep going, motivation of fluent artists, all right? This is the type of experience you can have when you're locked in and you focus and you have a plan of action, okay? Now, because we were helping so many artists sell art, I actually got invited by BlackRock, which is the world's largest asset manager, all right? All that they do is invest into assets. And they had me speaking on investing in Black art, okay? And so, man, we have access to some of the wealthiest collectors in the world through these relationships. And then, man, some senators from the country of Barbados actually caught wind of how we were helping artists sell art to collectors worldwide, that they actually flew me into the country to help those artists get access to collectors globally. Because when the pandemic happened, a lot of the tourism dried up. And so people weren't coming to the island. And thus the art industry was really destroyed at the time. And so they brought me in to come up with a plan to help these incredible artists get their art more exposure around the world. And so if you struggle selling your art, it is not your fault. Listen, I went to college to the art of design. And while I had some great teachers and some really dope classmates, and you do get better with your artistic skill, they don't show you how to sell your art or market yourself or really get exposure so you can build a long-term career, okay? So if you've had struggles with this, it's not your fault, because we literally haven't been taught how to do this. And so after over 20 years in business and helping artists sell worldwide, just type yes in the chat if it's your turn to get your own collectors, skip the hot dealer fees, and sell your art online all over the world. I just type yes in the chat if it's your turn, okay? Because once you discover these 3 secrets, you have the keys to get new collectors online so you can accomplish your dream vision for your art. And so these are the 3 secrets to selling art online. Now we're going to lock in the secret number 1. I see the yeses coming through. Secret number 1, charge your worth. How this one thing makes collectors excited to buy your art at luxury prices, okay? And so here's my friend, Melissa Mitchell. And I discovered this secret at our first live art event. Man, if you see, she has beautiful art behind her. She also creates wearable art in these head wraps. And she was very well prepared for this art event, okay? And this is how we were able to sell that first piece for over $2,000 at that very first art show. And so I was blown away because this was my first time doing this. The collector didn't have any clue who she was. Like, he didn't follow her on social media. He had never seen any of her art before. He didn't know her personal story or brand or anything that she had done. And so I said, you know, what made you invest into this artist that you don't know anything about? And he said, Sharess, the art is great, but it really was the story that got me, okay? And so if you're posting like this with no sales, whether you're getting a little engagement or you're getting a lot of engagement, If you're telling collectors what you created it in, what's the medium, the size, and the price, or you may say something like DM me for price and information, just add this one thing that I'm about to share with you, and you can begin pre-selling your art like Jasmine did. So she said, I posted this piece that I'm still working on last night, and I sold a pre-order print 9 a.m. this morning. Okay, just add this one thing. You can go from selling your art before it's even done. All right. And if you're here to sell your first piece over $1,000 like Miss Raquel, just type yes in the chat. All right. If you want to sell your first or next piece for over $1,000. Okay. And so this is one of my favorite stories of how this was applied. So type yes in the chat if you want to sell a piece for over $6,200 like Brisha Jones here. And so she said she was blown away. She was speechless because this was the most that she had sold a piece before at the time. And it was also the biggest size that she had sold, with it being 60 by 48. And so I want to read the story that the collector shared with us that inspired them to buy this piece. And so she said, my husband and I had a hard week and an already pretty messed up year. I know we're not special in any regards. Everything seems hard right now for everyone. When my husband and I saw your painting, we first both said, wow, we love that. And then we talked about how it made us feel. Hope, moving out of our comfort zone, leaving a bad year and entering a new place, fearlessness. When we read your thoughts on it as well, it just seemed like we needed it in our home. Thank you for painting this beautiful piece. It will be the conversation piece of the many meals we share with friends as we embrace a new era in the world, one of expanding fearlessness. Okay, type yes in the chat if you can see the power of the message Brisha Jones added to this art that made these collectors want to buy. I just type yes in the chat. And so how do you do this? Make sure you get your pen and paper out, because I'm going to break this down to you in a step-by-step framework, how we tell these powerful stories to get collectors to buy at any price. All right. So A equals art star. Who's the art star in your art story? All right. Who's the art star in your story? R equals the role. What's the art star's role in your art story? What are they trying to accomplish? What do they want to do? What's their mission? Okay. And then T equals twist. What's the emotional twist in your art story? All right. So if you like good books that have cliffhangers and page turners, and especially good movies that have you on the edge of the seat, you know the power of your twist in a story, and you can do this with your art as well. Okay. And so let me show you how Vincent van Gogh actually used this piece to sell this for an astronomical price. All right. And so first, the art star is Dr. Gachet. All right. Very simple. This is a portrait of Dr. Gachet. What's his role? He is Van Gogh's doctor. All right. You see, he's Van Gogh's doctor. And what's the twist, the Fluent Artist? The twist is the doctor may have killed Van Gogh. All right. And so, you know, people love murder mysteries. So this story was sensationalized, and people were really trying to figure out, man, did Van Gogh paint his last portrait of his killer? Like, who's Dr. Gachet? What was his involvement? And man, this story spread like wildfire. And the results was it actually sold for a record-breaking $82.5 million at Christie's. Okay. Now, I want to have a little fun and draw a little line in the sand. So I know some artists are here. You might be here to make your first sale, your next sale. You want to sell for a few hundred thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of dollars. Okay. But type 82.5 million in the chat if you want to sell your art for millions like me. All right. Because I know one thing for sure: success leaves clues. And if other people can do it, we can as well. All right. So put 82.5 million in the chat if you want to sell your art for millions of dollars like me. All right. Because this is how you break your sales records. So again, hint, it's not about time or size. As an artist, you know, the more time you devote to your craft, the faster and more efficient you are at creating. Okay. So it don't really make sense to charge less because you get faster at creating your art. And then if you really think about it, the size doesn't make sense either. We have wall art that is sometimes more valuable than a mural on the side of a building, right? And so the real secret to how you break your sales records is your art story, okay? And your art story has to touch your collector's emotions. All right. You want to create a powerful story that really touches your collector's emotions, and that's going to make them buy at any price. And so now I've shown you how becoming an affluent artist and creating your art story allows your art to truly sell itself at higher prices. I want you to have some fun with me and write down your new price and type that in the chat. All right. Type your new price in the chat and let me know if you see how powerful the art story is at making collectors want to buy your art for any price. All right. Just type yes in the chat. All right. Have some fun with me. Write down your new prices and when you're going to create your art story. Type that in the chat for me, all right? Awesome. So artists, this works for you if you are a painter, a sculptor, if you do acrylic pouring, jewelry, photography, mixed media, digital art, drawings, ceramics, collage, furniture, clothes, murals, metalworks, wearable art. It literally works for all affluent artists at all prices, all right? And so let's get into secret number 2. These are the 3 secrets to selling your art online. I'm going to show you how you can get one-click collectors, all right? So how to get instant access to ready-to-buy collectors. Type yes in the chat if you're ready for this secret, okay? And so first, I got to tell you a quick story because I could not believe this happened. This piece represents a turning point in my career as an artist and as a collector, all right? So I live in Atlanta, and one day I ran into one of my old classmates from the College of Art and Design, and he invited me to his art show. And I went to the art show, and he had some beautiful, beautiful art there. They had it set up in 3 different gallery spaces on the same street, man. It was very well done. And so I saw this piece, and I stepped to my classmate, and I told him that I was ready to buy. And so I was practically pressing my business credit card in his chest because I wanted this piece. Like, I love the colors, I love the profile, the hair, the earrings, the expression. I really like everything about this piece. And so to my surprise, my classmate actually turned my money down, and he said, man, Sharess, I can't take your payment because people usually cash at me. And I really could not believe that he told me that. And so let me know, have you ever experienced this? Just type yes in the chat if you've had to turn down some money because you couldn't accept the payment. Just type yes in the chat, all right? Let me know in the chat if you've ever experienced this. Because if you have, I need you to understand, rule number 1 is get paid, all right? Everybody put get paid in the chat. You got to be able to get paid in 2026 and beyond if you really want to get this art money. We can't be turning down no money, all right? So everybody put get paid in the chat. And so if you can't take payments, man, we got to change that for you this year, all right? Because you obviously are leaving way too much money on the table. And then if you're still using tools like Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, etc., you can get sales using these tools, but at a certain price point, some collectors not going to want to do business with you because they don't get receipts, right? When they send you a Cash App, a Venmo, or a Zelle. And then you as the artist / business owner, you don't get shipping information all the time, and you definitely don't get the credit card information on file so you can follow up and make easy sales with the collector, okay? And then social selling, all right? If you've ever dropped the photo of your art and said something like email or DM me for price, put guilty in the chat for me, okay? All right? Now, I've done it. I see it done all the time, so we're family here. We can be honest about it. Just put guilty in the chat if you've ever done that. And then orders on paper. If you're still taking orders on paper, man, we got to get off of that in 2026, okay? And then also, if you have low or no website sales. So I know many artists, they have websites. They're not really getting any sales. They don't really know, who's coming, how long they're staying. And some artists don't have websites at all, okay? Either way, we created Artwork to help you solve all of these problems, okay? And so, man, Artwork is a powerful app that we created to help artists get some fast results. And so Tiara, she said, I just uploaded some of my original art on the app a couple of days ago, and about 30 minutes ago, got a notification that one of my pieces sold. Still in shock a bit at how quick the sale happened, but great way to end the night. Thank you, Sharess, for perfecting the app. It's a game changer for us as artists, all right? And so I'm going to show you a quick Artwork demo to show you how easy it is to sell your art, track all of your sales and your best collectors, and how collectors can buy your art with one click, okay?
Hey, my name is Sharess May, and I want to give you a quick demo of the Artwork app. So the Artwork app does 2 very simple things, all right? If you are an artist, it allows you to sell your art, get collectors all over the world, and manage all of the most important key metrics in your business. And if you are a collector, it makes it simple for you to buy art with the click of a button and track the value of your art collection, all right? And so I'm going to show you the artist side of the dashboard first, then I'll pause and take you to the collector side. So when you're logged in as an artist and you're on your sales dashboard, you'll see your gross revenue, how many pieces you sold, what's the average price, all right? And this sales graph will show you your sales over any amount of time. Right here, you can set a sales goal. If say you set it for $100,000, if you made some sales today, that number will be in blue at the top. And this dial will show you how much you've made. We haven't made any sales today. This is our test account. And if you hover over it, you can see how many sales you made today. And it's really simple to add a new goal as well. As you start making sales, you'll see your top sellers right here. So you see it by name, how many pieces you sold in case you have prints or multiples, and you'll see how much revenue you made from each piece. Right here under your new orders tab, you'll see your latest orders. And so you stay on top of what needs to be shipped out. Down here at the bottom, you'll see your top collectors. So you'll see them by name, how many pieces they own in their collection, and how much money they've invested with you in your art business. All right. And then once you go to your artwork tab, this is where you'll see all of the art that you have listed on the site, ready for sale, and also in the marketplace for collectors to buy with one click. So let's say you want to add art. It's very simple. You click add artwork. You just have to fill out these fields right here. And once you click save, it'll save it. I'm just going to close that. If you want to email it to a collector, you can click share offer, enter your collector's email, send the offer. Email is already pre-written. They can click directly to the link and buy your art. If you like to copy a link, you can copy it as normal and send it via text message or share it on social media. And also, if you want to delete your product, it's very simple and easy to delete. As collectors begin buying art from you, you will see collectors in your dashboard. So you see all of the information right here, so you can contact with them and follow up with them and make future sales. If you click on that dashboard, you'll see a list of all of the art they purchased from you here. As your orders start coming through, you'll see your order and payment history right here. So you see if they were successful or failed transactions, all right, who bought it, the artwork, the purchase amount, and the date. And then as your money is being in transit to your bank account and deposited, you will also see your payouts here, all right? And so when you want to begin buying as a collector, all you have to do is click switch to collector, and it'll take you to the collection side of the marketplace, all right? And again, this is our test marketplace right here, but I'm going to pause for a moment to show you how simple it is to buy as a collector. So now I'm logged into the app as our test collector. And so you see when art is sold out, it'll be sold out in the marketplace, all right? And you can just scroll through the marketplace to check out all of the art that's available on the dashboard, all right? And so let's say if you want to buy something, it's very simple. You can click buy now. And if we have your card on file, you can choose which card you want to use. If you need to add a new one, you can do that. But let's say we want to select this card. We click confirm order. And it's that simple, all right? It's purchased. And so now if you want to go check your collection, you can click collection, and it'll take you to your collection. You see we just purchased this one right here, all right? So you can see all of your active collection. And as you are buying from artists, you can also see the artists that you're purchasing artwork from, all right? So I'm going to go back to the marketplace real quick. And let's say if you want to add it to your cart, you can add it to your cart. So you want to get a couple in there. And you can easily check your shopping cart to go to the checkout page and buy all of the pieces at the same time. So it's a very simple tool for artists to sell their art, and also for collectors to buy, track the value of their collection as well. All right. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. Talk to you soon.
All right, type yes in the chat if you love artwork. All right, type yes in the chat, man, if you like that demo. So artists, I want to answer a couple of frequently asked questions. So first, you can set your own price, all right? We like to write our art story in the description so a collector can read the emotional story that you created, which is going to make them want to buy at any price. Collectors can easily buy multiple pieces just by adding it to their cart. See the yes is coming through, all right? And we also like to add the shipping fee to the art price. So for example, if we're selling a piece for $10,000 and the shipping is $100, we will set it as $10,100 in artwork. Artists, you will ship your art directly to the collector, and then sales deposit in your account in 24 to 48 hours. And then artwork gets a small 10% commission, okay? And so artists all over the world are selling art right now on Artwork. So Jen sold Purpose for over $1,000. Tierra got Bright Future for $175. And Christina got Villa Night for $231. Magdalena said, I am very happy. Sold my first piece in artwork. Many thanks to my new collector. Type yes in the chat if you're ready to sell your next piece in artwork. All right. And so now, artists, I've shown you how artwork saves you time, money, and makes it easy for collectors to buy your art with one click. Type yes in the chat if you're excited to use artwork to get collectors. All right. Type yes in the chat if you are excited to start getting collectors using artwork. All right. And if you use this wisdom, man, you can start getting collectors this week. Okay. And so this is the third secret of the 3 secrets to selling art online. Let's get into it. All right. High income collectors, how to leverage AI for exposure to collectors that spend millions on art. So Christy, she said, okay, I'm about to cry right now. On my own way of selling, I would have gotten $200 for this piece. It would have taken me a while to get that. So I followed the steps of this course. I made an ad. I spent only $7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And she sold a piece for $700. And it only took her a few hours to sell. All right. Type yes in the chat if you like to invest $7 or a small amount on advertising and to get a huge return for the next piece that you sell. All right. So insert whatever price point that you sell at right now. And so it only took her a few hours to get this sale, and she was a newbie, okay? And so she also made over $2,350 in her first 3 weeks when she began advertising, okay? And now I love friends and family sales. So like Tierra sold Galactic Jelly for $2,000 to a friend and family. Mr. Emmanuel sold this piece for $500 to a sister at his church, all right? But sometimes we want global exposure, all right? If you want global exposure, type yes in the chat. You might want more exposure in your local neighborhood. You might want more exposure in your country, but sometimes artists want their message and their art to get out to the world. I type yes in the chat. And so after our first wave of affluent artist success, I knew I wanted to help more artists get high income collectors online by leveraging the power of AI and online ads, okay? Now, because of my experience buying ads on social media, I knew there was only one place I needed to go to get ready to buy collectors, and that's Instagram, all right? And so always remember, artists, success leaves clues. And so this Forbes article, they said Sotheby's had a $363.2 million test, and the art market passed the first major test of the pandemic, all right? And so if you hadn't sold online, money is being made online, millions of dollars, okay? Business Insider had an article that said, for now, the art world has gone digital. And for some, that's a good thing. The some is us. Artsy is an online art marketplace. Said they saw a 92% increase in e-commerce sales, and interest from galleries have increased by 60%, okay? And so collectors are spending a lot of money on art online. And so type yes in the chat if it makes sense to you to get into the flow of those collectors that's spending millions of dollars online. Just type yes in the chat if that makes sense to you, because that absolutely makes sense to me. And so if you look at these 2 red boxes, the top one says location, United States. All right, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, in the U.S. Start in your country, okay? It's going to be easy for you to start in your country, but you literally can advertise to any country that has Facebook and Instagram, okay? Now, if we look at that bottom left red box, it says Sotheby's. So we saw in the Forbes article that Sotheby's had a $363.2 million sale. So type yes in the chat if it makes sense to you to put your art in front of those collectors that like Sotheby's that's spending millions on art. All right, that makes sense to me. Type yes in the chat. So if that makes sense to you, we can click the green create ad button, and that's going to take us to a section called detailed targeting. All right, everybody type financial in the chat. Type the word financial in the chat, because when we go to the detailed targeting section and type in the word financial, we literally can target the collectors that make the most household income. So we can target the top 5% wealthiest collectors, the top 10% of wealthiest collectors that like Sotheby's, and the top 10 to 50% of the wealthiest collectors that like Sotheby's, okay? Now, if you've never seen this before, this is blowing your mind. Put the mind-blown emoji in the chat. You can put wow in the chat. If you didn't know that you could target the wealthiest collectors that like certain brands like Sotheby's, all right? Put wow with a mind-blown emoji in the chat, because this financial layering changes everything, affluent artists, all right? Let me give you a couple more examples, okay? So just last month, we had Art Basel Miami here in the United States, okay? So Art Basel is one of the biggest art fairs in the world, if not the largest art fair in the world. So type yes in the chat if it makes sense for you to target all those collectors that's spending money on flights, hotels, staying in Miami for a week, just so they can buy art, right? That makes sense for me to target those collectors that got all their disposable income going to Art Basel Miami. And so if we start to create an ad to target the collectors that like Art Basel, if we type in financial again, we can target the top 5 collectors with the most money that like Art Basel. We can target the top 10% of collectors that got the most household income that like Art Basel. And we can also target the top 10 to 50% of collectors that make the most money that like Art Basel. I put the mind blown emoji in the chat if this is blowing you away. This is how you put your art in front of wealthy, high income collectors. Okay. I'm going to give you one more example to really bring this home. So we saw the Business Insider article said Artsy had a 92% increase in e-commerce sales. All right. Type yes in the chat if it makes sense for you to put your art in front of those collectors that's starting to spend all of that money on art online. All right. Type yes in the chat, because that makes sense for me. I see the fire emojis and the wows coming through. All right. And so we go back to that detailed targeting. If we type in that word financial and we want to target the wealthiest collectors that like that Artsy brand that increased sales by 92%, we could target the top 5% of income earners. We could target the top 10% of income earners. And we can also target the top 10 to 50% of income earners to make sure that we put our art in front of high income collectors, okay? And so artists, when we do this, now we have the key to success, okay? Because when you want to sell art, there are two things that the collector absolutely must have. The first thing is these collectors have to have the willingness to buy art. And so this essentially means that you like art. Now, I know you like art. If you like Sotheby's, if you like Art Basel, and if you like Artsy, I know that you have the willingness to buy art. But when we tap on that financial layer, now we know we're targeting collectors that have the ability to buy art. And when I know I'm putting my art in front of a collector that actually has the money to pay for what it's worth, this type of access changes everything, affluent artists, okay? And affluent artists are using this process right now to sell art worldwide. So here's Nisha Kapoor. She's Indian. She sold her art in Indian rupees, man. I was just really impressed. She said, Sharess, your system rocks. I got another celeb lead as a result of my ads, and we spoke on the phone, and the person is willing to buy. Here's Miss Valerie. She's a senior. She sold over $3,250 from her ads, all right? And if she can do it as a senior citizen, you absolutely can do it, okay? Here's Christy. She spent $45 on ads and made over $1,400 in a day and a half. Type yes in the chat if you like to run an ad for your art and get over 800 likes, 200 comments, over 100 shares, and about 300 messages from collectors looking to buy. Type yes in the chat if you like to do that, okay? When you begin advertising your art to these high-income collectors. I see the yes coming through, all right? Here's my guy, affluent artist Joe Woods. He said, and this happened last night, sold, all right? He sold a $2,000 piece from his ass while he was asleep, all right? If you want to wake up to art sales, put sleep money in the chat, all right? You can put the hashtag sleep money. You could drop a bag with the money bag emoji. Just let me know how you're feeling, because that ain't too many feelings better than waking up to new sales because your ad was working for you around the clock 24/7, okay? I see the yeses coming through. And so artists, now I've shown you how you can use Instagram ads and AI to target the same high-income collectors the biggest art brands in the world use to sell art. I see that sleep money coming through. Type yes in the chat if you're ready to get exposed to high-income collectors online. I see the sleep money. Let's go, affluent artist. Type yes in the chat, man, if you want to put your art in front of these high-income collectors, okay? And so far you discovered how to create your art story to raise your prices, how to track your art sales and artwork. I showed you how you can easily share your art via text, email, or social media with the Artwork app. We showed you how to access a worldwide collectors marketplace. I showed you how to get collectors to buy your art with one click. I see the yeses coming through. We showed you how collectors can track what they own from your collection. We also showed you how you can use Instagram to target collectors worldwide. And then I showed you that powerful, powerful method, how to use that financial layering to target high-income collectors on Instagram, all right? And so I want you to imagine your future best self as you are applying this wisdom that I gave you today. Imagine that you're selling art to collectors worldwide. Like, how is that going to impact your life? All right, let me know in the chat. Imagine that you're charging what you're worth and collectors are happy to pay it because they got the money to do so. All right, and then imagine that you're living your dream life as a full-time affluent artist. Like, what are you doing with all the extra money and free time? Let me know in the chat what you're doing with all of that new money and that new free time that you have because you're selling your art online to high-income collectors. Because knowing what you know now, type yes in the chat if you feel more confident pricing your art. Just type yes in the chat if you feel more confident. I see the yeses coming through. Are you happy you attended this class today? Just type yes in the chat if you're happy you attended this class. Do you realize the advantage you have as an artist using these techniques? Just type yes in the chat if you can see that you have an advantage over others just using this wisdom. And can you see yourself using this to sell more art? All right, this should be a no-brainer layup. All right, I'm a hooper. We say layups. That means it's easy, okay? It should be a no-brainer if you can see yourself using this to sell more art. All right, can you see yourself getting new collectors? I see the yeses coming through. It's easy. Said I'm happy I attended, motivated, we'll try. I love to see it, okay? All right, so artists, you got two choices. So choice number one is you can do what you always do. Now, if you continue down the path that you were on before we met today, you're very likely to get the same results, okay? But choice number two, you can start selling your art with handheld mentorship, a process that also gives you guaranteed results, okay? And so is it okay if I spend a few minutes going over a very special offer to help you accomplish your dream? Just type yes in the chat if it's okay if I spend a few minutes showing you how we can help you accomplish your dreams, okay? All right. And so I want to introduce you to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. It's a fun and easy 5-step system for visual artists to raise prices, get new collectors, and sell more art online, all right? And so the Affluent Artist Masterclass has a simple 5-step process. Step number one is mindset. This is where we help you have a millionaire mindset so you can get rid of that starving artist broke mentality. Step number two is price. This is where we show you how to charge luxury prices for your art. Step number three is sold. This is where we show you how to start getting your sales, what we call cash collectors. Step number four is collectors. This is where we show you how to create a collector community that's going to buy from you for the long term. And then step number five is marketing. This is where we show you how to use Facebook and Instagram ads and use that financial layering so you can target high income collectors, okay? And so now I want to share a quick story about Christian and just him sharing his results after he became an affluent artist and just how fast and easy it was for him to start selling his art.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? It's Christian Lamar here, and I'm a portrait artist from VA. Now I just want to tell y'all why I joined the Affluent Artist Masterclass. I went to a great art school and learned from some phenomenal artists, but they never taught me how to sell my work. So after I graduated, I struggled, like, to the point of almost wanting to give up on my dream of being a professional artist. Well, this course changed all of that. It showed me how to turn my art into a business, and most importantly, how to sell online. So now I can sell to anyone, anywhere. And the results are super quick. I made my first sale within 30 hours of starting the program and made just under $1,500 within the first 5 days. And now that I'm in week 4, I've made just over $4,000. And it's super easy to follow. Like, if you're like me and you're ready to fulfill your dreams of being a professional artist, give the program a shot. And you also get to join a community of artists that share their experiences every day of what works. So join me and the family and become an affluent artist today. All right. Peace.
Shout out to my guy, Christian Lamar, telling his story, man. So again, affluent artist, this works for you. If you paint, if you sculpt, if you do acrylic pours, jewelry, photography, mixed media, digital art, drawings, ceramics, collage, furniture, clothes, murals, metalworks, wearable art. It literally works for all affluent artists at all prices, okay? And so type yes in this chat. Man, if you want to make $4,000 or more on your next sale like Miss Joy in Canada. So I love when artists make their sales and put that cash on the table because we always tell the truth about making money. All right, type yes in the chat if you like that, seeing that Canadian cash from Miss Joy right there. And again, man, this works even if your art isn't ready. One of the things I hear a lot from artists, they think they need to have a big portfolio already created before you start selling. Man, that is the furthest thing from the truth. You can actually begin pre-selling your art before it's done using the wisdom that you learned today on this free class. So Jasmine, she said, I posted this piece that I'm still working on last night, and I sold a pre-order print 9 a.m. this morning. Gratitude, art story, and organic conversation building relationships really work. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass, and that's a $5,000 value, okay? Part number 2 is you're going to get your artwork 12-month gold account. So I want you to imagine collectors buying art from you from anywhere. Jen said, I'm so happy and grateful to have sold this piece. I'm going to supersize my fries tonight. Type yes in the chat if you like to sell a piece on artwork for over $2,700 like Jen did. Emergence in Power. All right, type yes in the chat. And I want you to imagine your new life selling art anywhere in the world, man. And I love to see Miss Yvonne The parents bought this Spidey Senses piece for this little collector. You can see the joy in his smile, man. Beautiful, beautiful to see the collector started to get young, starting to buy art young. And so when you get your artwork account, you're going to be able to accept payments up to $1 million and up on one app. You'll be able to easily sell your art anywhere, whether that's in person or online. You're going to be able to track your art, your sales, and your collector's information all in one place. Collectors can buy your art with one click, like on Amazon, and collectors can track their net worth in your art. And so you also be able to save a lot of money when you get your artwork account. So you can cancel website fees, Etsy fees, or any other marketplaces that you're paying for. If you don't want to go to fairs and shows and have the labor and the fees to do the show, you can stop doing that as well. Or you can use artwork at your show, okay? Email marketing, CRM software. And then also the most important asset is that lost time trying to figure it out on your own. All right, you'll be able to save money on all of these when you get your artwork account today, okay? And so I'm an artist as well. And so when I first started, like I didn't know how to manage my art sales in one place or track how much my collectors spent. I also didn't have a global marketplace where collectors could buy with one click. So I had to create artwork for myself. And so this is going to help you save time and money, because over 6 years ago, I had to spend over $60,000 in 3 years to figure out how to create an app to solve this problem. And so I didn't want you recreating the wheel. So I'm going to give you an artwork account with this package so you skip the cost, the trial, and the error. Cool? Type yes in the chat if that's cool, all right? I hope that's cool with you. And so, man, artists are getting incredible results. Tierra sold Angels Among Strangers just in a couple of days, and she got a notification before she went to bed, and she was still in shock at how quick the sale happened, okay? And so when you join today, you're going to get the Affluent Artist Masterclass, and you're going to get that artwork 12-month gold account, and that's a $6,200 value, all right? And part number 3 is the Affluent Artist Community, and this is one of my favorite parts about the entire program, because we have a global network of artists and collectors that love serving and that want to see you succeed. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to our private Affluent Artist School community. And so this is going to give you the knowledge, the community, and encouragement and the motivation you need to succeed in your art career. And so you can access the program and community anytime from anywhere in the world, and you have unlimited handheld support, all right? And so you got 24/7 access to the community. Plus, we have a live weekly sales session to make sure you get all of your questions answered, okay? So this is where you can get personalized help from our team to make sure that you're selling art, all right? And then also, man, doesn't matter how young you think you are or how old you think you are, man, this community is for you. And so this is Miss Jovan and her daughter, Sanyu. And Sanyu started when she was 9, and she's making money, all right? And so if a 9-year-old can make money, you absolutely can. And Miss Phyllis, she was 73 when she joined, and she made a sale in her first week, all right? And so if a grandmother can get in and join, you absolutely can too. She said, I introduced myself, showed a few images, watched the welcome videos and the collector practice videos, and I sold 2 drawings. It is absolutely fast, okay? And so I want you to imagine being a part of a community of affluent artists that actually want to help you 24/7. And so here's Sean. He said, lesson learned, follow up every time. You never know why somebody ghosts you. I thought maybe my price was too high for her or she was gone for good. Don't make up your own stories as to why they didn't call back. Just follow up and be polite. All right, so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get access to the artwork account, and you get access to the Affluent Artist Community, and that's a $7,400 value, all right? And then you also going to get some fast bonuses when you join today. So bonus number 1 is that luxury pricing method, okay? That's a $1,000 value. And so if you're tired of putting time and skill into your art, only for buyers to continue lowballing you or asking for discounts and not really respecting the true value of your art, man, this luxury pricing method is going to transform that for you, okay? So Christy, she said, holy smokes, I reached out to an old friend and supporter of my art and landed a $1,000 mural job. The system works. I was thinking of asking for 8, was hoping for 6, but I boldly asked $1,000 and she didn't hesitate, all right? And so Christy, she was a single mom, and she watched this class that you're on right now, and she made $1,350 in the next 5 days, all right? So she sold art within the first 7 days. This flat out works. Same thing with Jen. She sold Breakthrough 2 for $5,840, all right? This is what that luxury pricing method unlocks for you, so collectors start to buy at any price. Brisha Jones, she used the art story and the wisdom and the luxury pricing method to break her sales record. So she was speechless because this was the biggest piece that she had ever sold at the time, a 60 by 48. And it was also the highest price that she had sold at the time for $6,209. Okay. And so I want you to imagine your confidence just skyrocketing because your art story has collectors emotionally invested in buying your art at any price. And so this is your new reality when you become an affluent artist. Okay. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get that Artwork 12-month gold account. You also going to get access to the Affluent Artist community, and you get that luxury pricing method, and that's a value of $8,400 when you join today, okay? Bonus number 2, we're going to give you our prize automated collector system, okay? That's a $1,200 value. And so this is a tool that we use called High Level, and it really just brings you new collector leads 24/7. So we use AI and ads with Instagram. That brings us 24/7 collector leads coming because our ads are running automatically around the clock. And these new interested collector leads, they are going to buy your art. All right. So it's a simple 3-step process, and we give you everything for free as a bonus. And so many artists, they suffer from feast or famine income where you sell art some months or some years, and then sometimes you don't sell any at all. I had so many conversations with other artists that are experiencing this. And so I've spent years investing time and money testing which art ads and sales pages work best to turn clicks to collectors so you can have collectors coming to you 24/7, okay? And so when we get an endless flow of new interested collector leads joining your email list and buying your art 24/7, this gives you predictable cash to grow your art brand and your collector community while sales come in at the same time. And so if you already have a website that's not selling how you like, you can keep it if you want to, or you can get rid of it and save money on it, okay? Either way, you can use ours to get new collectors coming to buy your art every day like clockwork. And so again, man, using this automated collector system, this is how Christy was able to spend $45 on ads and make $1,400 in a day and a half. It happens quick when you have the tools and the process, okay? And so when you join Today Artists, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get your artwork account. You're going to get the Affluent Artist community. You're going to get the luxury pricing method, and you get that automated collector system, and that's a $9,600 value, all right? And then bonus number 3, Affluent Artists. We're going to show you how to get those high-income collectors with Instagram ads, all right? And so this is for artists that pay in full today. When you pay in full, we're going to give you this high-income collector bonus where I'm going to personally show you how to put your art in front of high-income collectors. And so many artists struggle to get exposure to collectors that can afford their art at the price you think it's worth. So I've spent over $250,000 on Instagram ads, figuring out the best way to target buyers with money. And so you get instant access to what's working now with Instagram ads and AI, okay? And so this is how I told you, we're going to personally show you how to use that financial layering to target these high-income collectors and how to create your art ad to get them to respond, okay? And so I'm going to show you how to get exposure to collectors with that disposable cash so they can afford your art at any price. I'm going to show you how to leverage AI to target the best collectors for your style. And this is going to help you predictably get new collectors 24/7 coming with your Facebook and Instagram ads, okay? And so this is how Jen, she said, I got another deposit for a commission, a $4,369 commission. Type yes in the chat if you want to start selling commissions for over $4,000. She said, I just threw out a random number and they said, can they pay it in 3? Man, these are the kind of responses you get when you're dealing with the right collectors. Same thing with Jasmine. She set a goal to make over $5,000 for the month. All right, type yes in the chat if you'd like to make $5,000 or more from your art every month. All right, that was her goal. But she ended up selling $5,527 in the first week when she used this information to target high-income collectors, okay? And so Isha Nelson here, she used this wisdom to sell this custom installation for $10,000. Type yes in the chat if you want to sell your first and next piece for $10,000. I see the yeses coming through. All right, this is what's possible when you're targeting the right collectors. You can start to raise your price and really charge what it's worth, all right? And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get access to your artwork account. You're going to get access to the Affluent Artist community. You'll get the luxury pricing method, the automated collector system. And for artists that pay in full, we're going to personally show you how to target and sell to those high-income collectors, okay? And that's a total value of over $10,600 when you join today. Now, artists, if all this did was help you raise your prices so you could break your sales record, would that be worth $10,000? Type yes in the chat. I think it absolutely will be worth $10,000 if you could continue to raise your price and break your sales records because you was putting your art in front of the right collectors, all right? And if all this did was help you manage your sales and access the artwork one-click collectors, would that be worth $10,000? Absolutely. I think so, because if you can just sell one piece for $10K like Isha, it is absolutely worth it, all right? And if all this did was help you target high-income collectors so you sell more art, would that be worth $10K? 100%. You can sell $10K one time, make your money back, and continue to make these type of sales when you're targeting the right collectors, okay? And so we're putting this together, artists. I had two choices. Choice number one, I could let you do this on your own with the wisdom that you learned today, okay? And you can get results like that, all right? But choice number two, I had the option to have our team dedicate more time, energy, and resources so we have a responsible and active role in your success, okay? And so what are your dreams worth to you? I just want you to imagine for a moment, if you had an automated collector system bringing collectors to you, what would it be worth to you? Or how much would you pay to have one successful system? And so you can see why artists have paid $10,000 for similar results from me, because it's not a cost, it is an investment into your art career, okay? And so when you go to affluentartist.com to join right now, you won't have to invest anywhere near over $10,000 that is really worth, okay? The normal price is $5,000, but you won't have to invest anywhere near that today when you go to affluentartist.com. We have a special 93% off offer for only $9.99 when you go to affluentartist.com today. All right, I'm going to pin that in the chat for you right there. You can click affluentartist.com and sign up today. I remember, if you pay in full, you're going to get access to that high income collector bonus. We're going to personally hold your hand to show you how to set up your ads so you can target high income collectors and get them to buy when you pay in full at affluentartist.com. If you need help ordering, you can text JOIN to 470-777-7549. Again, you can text JOIN to +1 470-777-7549. Okay. And also, man, we've had in-person experiences like with our $1 Million Artist Mastermind. If you wanted to get a handheld experience where we help you set this up, man, that would be a $25,000 investment, okay? And you see Jasmine, when she came, she said, I'm at a loss for words here. Artwork Mastermind was beyond anything that I imagined. Demetra said in one word, epic, all right? But you can join today for a fraction of that and get your handheld online when you go to affluentartist.com to join today, all right? And again, that automated collector system, that's over a $1,600 value, which is more than the asking price for your enrollment into the Affluent Artist program, okay? So it is absolutely worth it. And so artists, now you have two choices. You could do this on your own, and if you do this, now you'll get the same results, okay? If you continue to just work on your own and try to figure this stuff out this year, you may get the same results. But choice number two, you can get your handheld from our community, get personalized mentorship, and guaranteed sales results when you join at affluentartist.com, all right? And so we're so confident in our ability to help you sell your art. We have a 110% money back guarantee. And so if you sign up now, if the Affluent Artist does not help you sell more art and get more collectors, you have two simple options. Option number one, you follow the steps, decide it's not for you, and you can win 110% of your money back, all right? Option number two, you say, you know what, Sharess, I want to grow in my Affluent Artist community, and I want to continue to sell art and beat my sales records, all right? And so we'll personally help you achieve your art sales goals when you sign up at affluentartist.com. Now, why do we do this? Why do we offer 110% money back guarantee? So we do it for a very selfish reason, that's because I know that it's a win-win, okay? And so this makes it a no-brainer for you to join, and I know we can help you succeed, because when you sign up, I know for a fact one of these two things will happen. You will sell more art and get new collectors, all right? It is guaranteed. We've seen it happen again and again and again. Or if you try it out and you say, this is not for me, you will win $1,100 from us just for trying it out, all right? Now, if you take the payment plan, we'll give you extra 10% on what you invested for the payment plan when you go to affluentartist.com right now to join, all right? And so to be qualified for the 110% money back guarantee, you got to earn the 100% completion by watching the Affluent Artist Masterclass. After you watch it, we want you to actually take action on the masterclass so you can get results. Attend the live sales session every week so we can answer your questions. And then most importantly, sell art. I use the wisdom to sell art and start making some money and transform your life. And we want you to share your results on social media, okay? And so your profit is guaranteed, Affluent Artist. So again, option number one, you can follow the steps. If you decide it's not for you, you can win your money back. But then option number two, you say, hey, I really want to grow as an affluent artist. I want to continue to set and break my sales records every month. And I want help, achieving my revenue goals. You can get access to that when you enroll at affluentartist.com. All right. And so, artists, the real question you got to ask yourself, is it worth taking a few minutes to check this out? Because even if it does half of what I say today, it will pay for itself as soon as you sell one painting for $1,000. All right. And that is really easy to do. And so, artists, you're just one collector away from transforming your entire life and your entire art career for 2026 and beyond when you sign up at affluentartist.com today. Okay. And so when you join today, again, you're going to get access to that Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get access to the Artwork 12-month gold account. You're going to get access to the Affluent Artist community, and you're going to get some powerful bonuses. You're going to get that luxury pricing method, the bonus number 2, the automated collector system. And when you pay in full, we're going to show you how to get those high income collectors. I'm going to personally walk you through how to set up your art ads to target high income collectors to make sure that you're targeting people who want to pay what it's worth. All right. And that's over a $10,600 value when you sign up at affluentartist.com today. All right. Artists, you got some questions? Type it in the chat. You can let me know when you join. So also, we got a fast action bonus. This is the Sold Out Art Challenge. All right. And this is only for the first 10 artists that join live. And so many artists you saw, they sell art in the first 7 days. We used to do the Sold in 7 challenge to see who want to start selling some art quick. And so with this Sold Out Art Sales Challenge, you get live handheld coaching. We're going to show you how to get your dream 100 collectors and so much more. Again, you're just one collector away from really getting that confidence and transforming your life. And you can get this bonus when you sign up while we're live, okay, at affluentartist.com. All right, if you got a question, type it in the chat. So artists, get started today, all right? I'm going to recap the offer real quick. Man, so you're going to get your Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get access to the Artwork 12-month gold account. You're going to get access to the Affluent Artist community. That bonus number 1, that luxury pricing method. Bonus number 2, the automated collector system. And when you pay in full, I'm going to show you how to get access to high-income collectors and how to set up your art ads the right way with the stories, how we can use AI and ChatGPT to help us come up with the images and the words that's going to persuade these collectors to buy. And then also for the first 10 artists only, you're also going to get that Sold Out Art Challenge. And that's a value of over $11,600. We got a special 93% off offer for $9.99 when you go to affluentartist.com today. All right. Also, if you need a payment plan, we have a $200 a month plan for 6 months. If you need an affordable payment plan, when you go to affluentartist.com. All right. If you need help ordering, you can text JOIN to +1 470 777 7549. All right. If you're here in the States, you can text JOIN to 470 777 7549 if you need help ordering. Okay. And our team will call you to make sure that we get you enrolled. All right. Now, at this point, I see some of you are starting to sign up, and that makes me happy. Okay. I can see that, some of you are still here. We still got several artists here, and I can tell you're getting ready to sign up, but you may have a question that you need answered first before making that decision. All right. So I understand completely. If you got a question, type it in the chat, but I'm also going to address some frequently asked questions in the time that we have left. All right. Type the question in the chat if you have it. This is your time. I am happy to serve. So some artists want to know, what if I already have a website? So listen, if you aren't making sales on your website, you can send all of your collectors to Artwork, and you can use our automated collector system so you can eliminate hosting costs and those monthly fees when you sign up at affluentartist.com. Okay. Do collectors need an Artwork account? So collectors can buy as a guest, but we encourage them to get an Artwork account so they can track their art collection and see the value of your art and as you're growing as an artist. Okay. But they can buy as a guest, but we do encourage them to get an account because a lot of added value to actually having an account. Some artists want to know, how do I afford the investment? So listen, one of the ways that many artists afford the investment is they use what they learn here to begin pre-selling their art. Okay. And so Jasmine, she was creating this Chadwick Boseman piece, and she was still working on it, but she actually posted it. She used her art story, and she started having organic conversations with her social media followers, and she sold some pre-order prints. And so you can use that to get the money that you need to make the investment to become an affluent artist, okay? Some artists want to know, how do I make the time? So Brisha Jones, she's a single mom with 2 kids. And so she had difficulty making the time as well. But you see, she actually made the time to sell this commission for $2,572. And so one of the ways that we make the time is by implementing what we call a success block. And so our success block, it's a dedicated block of time that we do first thing in the morning, ideally before you wake up. If you can wake up in half an hour or an hour or more earlier, so you can give like the freshest, most just like ready version of yourself to your art and your career, okay? Before you give to everybody else, your family, your employer, or whatever else that you're doing, okay? This is how we do it. This is how we make the time. Some artists ask, can I do this from anywhere in the world? All right. You absolutely can do this from anywhere in the world as long as you have Wi-Fi and an internet connection, okay? And then you can advertise to any country in the world as long as they have Facebook and Instagram in those countries. And so this is Miss Joy. She's up in Canada. You see those Canadian bucks on that table right there. Man, that's over $4,000 spread out that she made from selling this mural. All right? You can get access to this system when you go to affluentartist.com. Some artists want to know, what if I'm just getting started, Sherez? If I'm newbie and I don't have any experience and I'm an emerging artist? Man, I actually think that's a blessing, okay? Being new and inexperienced is a great place to start because you don't have any bad habits to unlearn, all right? And it's also, man, it's illustrated by one of my favorite stories. So Tiara, she became an affluent artist and she started selling her art. And her sons were so inspired by their mom that they said they want to start selling art as well. And so they were 2, 5, and 7 years old when they started their art journey. And so because their mom knew what to do, the kids set a goal to make $250, but with the support of their friends and family, at the ages of 2, 5, and 7, they made over $500, all right? And I just want y'all to imagine, like, how would your life be different if you had a mother, a father, or a family friend show you how to sell art at a young age with a proven process? Imagine like how much further along you would be. Imagine how much more confidence that you would have. Imagine what your price would be right now if that was embedded in you at such a young age like this, okay? So no matter what age you are, no matter your level of experience, you can absolutely get started and succeed when you sign up at affluentartist.com right now, all right? And some artists ask, is the process too hard, technical? Listen, absolutely not. And even if it gets challenging for you, that's why our coaches hold your hand. And so to illustrate this, Miss Valerie, she was 68 when she joined, and she sold over $10,000 in the first few months. She said she was taking her time to master the steps, learning all the new to her apps, and out of the blue, she started selling art and sold 2 paintings, okay? She said she was speechless. So, man, it just absolutely works. She said everything is falling in place. The program works. And so, artists, you got to get resources or be resourceful like Miss Stacy. And so when she joined, her and her husband were having some financial difficulties as well. But she said, you know what? I need this. Man, I want this transformation. I'm going to be resourceful. And she found a way to make it work. And after she joined, she immediately started selling art. She said, yes, it works. She said, I made my call to a friend that said she wanted these paintings when they're done. I called her and told them they're done. She could buy one for $250 or 3 for $6. She took all 3. And she said, correction, she paid today. All right. So you can get access to this system when you go to affluentartist.com. Some artists want to know, is there too much competition? Man, absolutely not. So I'm an artist, but I'm also a collector. And if you had an opportunity to look around my house, I literally have art from like 8 or 9 artists that I can see right now. And that doesn't even count all of the art that's upstairs. And so if you know collectors, man, they love buying art from dope artists. It doesn't matter where you're from, man, your ethnic background. If they like it and it resonates with their spirit, they absolutely want to buy it, all right? And so there is more than enough abundance for all of us to successfully sell art and share what's working with one another. Some artists want to know, what is the artwork commission? So it's only 10%, all right? It's one of the lowest in the industry. And most importantly, you keep all your collectors' data. We want you to have direct access to your collectors so you can build a long-term relationship and continue to make money by selling your art. And we know if you've ever done business with galleries, oftentimes they want to take 30 to 60% of your art, and they generally don't give you the collector's information because they don't want you to go direct to the collector and cut them out of their fee, right? And so we want you to have access to your collector's information, okay? Some artists want to know, what budget do I need for ads? So listen, really, you can start with as little as $5 per day when you sign up at affluentartist.com. You don't need a lot of money to get started, man, but you do want to invest what you can, because the more money you can invest in ads per day, the more collectors that are going to come and get on your email list and go through your process of buying your art, okay? And so you can start small with as little as $5 a day, but as you're making sales and you can reinvest, you can start to spend more and more, and this is going to bring you more and more collectors and help you make more and more money, okay? And so we know, man, being a full-time artist, it absolutely beat working a 9-to-5. Type yes in the chat if you're here and you're ready to be a full-time artist. If you're not yet, you might still be working a job, doing something to make ends meet. I completely understand, but type yes in the chat if you're ready to go full-time as an artist. And so Mia, she's full-time. She got the first $1,000 installment for this beautiful $2,000 piece that she did for a 2-year-old's bedroom, man. It's a bunch of hearts with like balloon strings on it, man. It's a powerful, powerful piece. All right. So you can join and get access to this system that are helping artists go full time when you go to affluentartist.com. All right. And again, Affluent Artist is really the community support that creates your new success habits. One of the most powerful things that I've experienced in the community is artists are really inspired by what everyone else is doing. All right. You get inspired by other people's creations, their artwork, but you also get inspired by their stories and how they're selling art. And you start to see like, man, if this person can do it in this town for that price point, I know that I can do it. Right. And it just breeds more confidence, and everybody is sharing what's working. And this is what really helps you be successful. Okay. So you can join our community when you go to affluentartist.com to sign up. All right. And so artists, if you're here on this live class and you searched on YouTube, if you searched on Google, if you've read books, if you watched videos online trying to figure out how to sell your art, you know information alone is not enough, all right? You need tools, you need a system, you need process, you need technology, you want to leverage AI, you need to understand how to sell, you got to get access to high-income collectors. And so if you want to get booked and busy like Toya, go to affluentartist.com and sign up now. I see some yeses coming through. All right. If you got any questions, type your questions in the chat, artists. And so again, artists, man, as we close out, type your questions. Let me know that you join. You really got to ask yourself, do you want money or excuses? Because we can't have both in life, okay? We got to choose one or the other. Do you want money or excuses? And so Jonte, he chose money. And so this is Jonte selling his $2,000 lamb piece to these collectors because he decided that he wanted to be successful. He knew that he was going to find a way so he could invest into his dreams and become an affluent artist, all right? And so you can get access to this system that Jonte is using when you go to affluentartist.com, all right? Now, artists, I want to make sure that y'all calculate the true cost of inaction, because think about this for a moment. Like, what if this helped you start selling just one piece per week? Would that be worth it? Just type yes in the chat if you think that would be worth it. If you just start selling one piece per week, I don't know what you're selling right now at what price point, but would that be worth it? All right. Of course, that would be worth it. But the biggest thing is, what's the lost opportunity cost, right? Are the future missed sales really worth continuing to struggle to sell your art because you're trying to figure it out on your own? All right. Because it's January right now. We're about to roll into February. If you spend the rest of this month or February trying to do it on your own without having a proven system and process and community and mentorship that's going to hold your hand and give you the accountability to make sure you accomplish your goals, man, you might lose out on February sales. If you keep on trying to do it on your own, you could lose out on March sales, right? And then you could be rolling into the second quarter of 2026, still stuck spinning your wheels because you didn't find a way to invest into yourself, okay? Because if you follow just one of the steps I shared on today's webinar, you can make a profit in the first week when you go to affluentartist.com to sign up and join right now, all right? It's also a good idea, man, you can ask your family and friends to become your investors, all right? People love to invest into you when they know that you got a system and a process that you're going to use to make your dreams come true, okay? And so, man, Miss Valerie, she said, Affluent Artist family, I wanted to share. Finished this today, posted it 3 hours ago, sold to a collector. This is how fast this stuff happens. Cherry, she says the first week in the program, she got to sell quickly, okay? And so let your friends and family know if you need an investor, what you're doing, and how they can help you make your dreams come true, okay? Also, some artists like to have PayPal invest into them. So PayPal has a program called PayPal Credit. You can go to paypal.com/credit to apply. All right. And so they give you no payments plus no interest if you pay it in full in 6 months or more. All right. So you got to pay in full to use this option, but you can get PayPal to give you a credit line. You can use that to start selling your art and start making money. And then you can use the revenue that you have from your art sales to pay PayPal back. And so you don't have any interest. All right. So you can go to paypal.com/credit to apply. Then you can come back to affluentartist.com and sign up at the checkout. All right. So Affluent Artist, the time is now, man. I'm excited to help the artists that enroll. Man, go to affluentartist.com, sign up now, because if you're ready to start actively implementing this wisdom, just like Raquel, she said, without negotiation or hesitation, this collector purchased this piece at my $1,200 asking price. I am beyond grateful for the knowledge and the quick turnaround, okay? She went from being told that her prices are too high to selling her art quickly after she became an affluent artist and she got access to this information, okay? And so let's accomplish your dream together, man. I'm excited to see you on the inside. Now, as a fellow artist, I know that struggle with selling art can be real, okay? But I want you to just think about when it's gone from your life, like how will you feel, right? When you start selling your art effortlessly and collectors are coming to you because they're interested in your art. Like how much better will your life be when you start really living your dreams and your passion and you start making money from your God-given talents, right? Because I know, man, how much stress is working a job and never having enough money causing your mind and your body right now, right? What is that like? Because literally after you join, it's like poof, it's gone, all right? And I want you to really feel that difference in your body. Just imagine that. And it all starts by going to the link below and joining now. When you go to affluentartist.com to sign up, all right? And so I'm going to walk you through the checkout process. So get started now. Let me pop out real quick and let me take you to the checkout process, all right? So when you go to affluentartist.com, it's going to bring you to our enrollment page, all right? And so you will see that you got a little bit over 72 hours until this offer expires, okay? So go to affluentartist.com right now. We got that pinned in the chat as well to sign up, all right? It's going to show you a recap of everything that you get. It breaks down 110% win your money back guarantee. And all you got to do is put your name, your email, your phone number, your address in, and choose which one you want to use, all right? If you want to pay in full, to get that pay in full bonus so that you can get high income collectors with me, so we can show you how to set up your art ad to target these high income collectors, select the pay in full bonus, all right? If you need a payment plan, you can choose the payment plan as well, okay? And then also feel free to add this VIP add-on so you can we can help you create a custom plan to hit your revenue goals and achieve your dream art vision, okay? So this is a one-on-one call with our team. Make sure you add that to your order as well, all right? And then when you're ready, just enter your card number, the expiration date, the security code, the country, and the zip code. Click join now and enroll today, all right? So we'd be really excited to see you on the inside, all right? And so artists, get started now. I want you to enroll at affluentartist.com. If you got a question, type it in the chat before we get up out of here. But I want to do a quick recap of the offer. So when you join today, you can get the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're also going to get access to that artwork gold account. You're going to get access to the Affluent Artist community. You're going to get bonus number one, that luxury pricing method is going to show you how to charge your work and raise your prices. Bonus number two, you're going to get that automated collector system that's going to bring collectors to you 24/7 from Instagram ads. And then when you pay in full, I'm going to personally show you how to target high income collectors and how to set your ad up correctly so those collectors will respond so you can charge high prices, okay? And then for the artists that signed up today, you're also going to get that sold out art challenge, and that's for the first 10 artists only. And that's for a total value of over $11,600. But we got a special 93% off when you join today for $9.99. Or if you need a payment plan, you can join for $200 a month for 6 months when you go to affluentartist.com to sign up right now, all right? If you need help ordering, you can text JOIN to 470-777-7549. Again, if you are out of the country, you can text JOIN to +1 470-777-7549. If you are in the States, text JOIN to 470-777-7549. All right. If you want to join on your own, go to affluentartist.com and sign up right now. All right, we still got a few artists on. I do not see any other questions. So I'll wait a few more seconds to see if y'all got a question. If not, we are going to be signing off. All right. All right. So I'm excited, man. I hope you enjoyed this class today. Type yes in the chat if you enjoyed this masterclass. Let me know. Are you still here? We still got a few artists here. Use this time to get your question answered. If you're on the fence, if there's anything that you need to get started, let me know in the chat. All right. If you need to talk to our team, you can text join to 470-777-7549. All right. I don't see any questions. I'm going to do one last recap. So get started now, artists. Again, join today. You get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get that artwork account. You're going to become a member of the Affluent Artist community, and you're going to get some fast action bonuses. All right. You'll get that luxury pricing method so we can charge your worth. You get that automated collector system so you can bring collectors to you 24/7. And when you pay in full, we're going to show you how to set up your ads to target those high income collectors and use that financial layering. All right. And then also for the first 10 artists, you're going to get that sold out art challenge for free. So we can show you how to sell art in 7 days if you want to start selling art that quickly. Okay. So when you go to affluentartist.com, you can join for our special discount of $9.99. You also, if you need an affordable payment plan, you can choose $200 a month for 6 months when you go to affluentartist.com. All right. If you need help ordering, text join to 470-777-7549. My name is Sharess, man. I enjoy teaching you here live on this masterclass. If you got questions, text join to 470-777-7549. All right. Peace. Everybody have a wonderful night, and I'll see y'all next time.